Hey, Alabama Bass Nation, it's Chris Tate. We've got two very special guests with me today. I have the 2020 Bassmaster Mossy Oak Fishing High School National Champions of 2020, Tucker Smith and Hayden Marbut of Briarwood Christian School. Guys, congratulations on your 2020 National Championship, first of all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, like I said, the story would end there, but your story is like an onion. We got to peel it back. You know, for those who don't watch, Briarwood Christian has received his third consecutive championship. Hayden, this is your first championship. However, Tucker Smith, this is his third championship. And so we're going to kind of dive into, what's going on with you guys, how you guys been successful. And but first of all, let me start off and just get to know you guys. So I'm going to start with Hayden. Just tell me a little bit about yourself, what year of school you're in, what your goals are.
Yes, sir. I'm a senior and just like to fish and hope to pursue it as a career later in life. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are your future ambitions that you want to do? Are you going to go to college? You're going to fish? What do you see after college?
Yes, sir. I'm going to go to college. I don't know where yet. I'm still looking around and thinking about it. But after college, I'm probably going to try to fish the Opens or the Toyota Series or something. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So now, Tucker, last time we spoke on camera, you were just in the process of graduating. So tell us what's been happening with you after you graduated from Briarwood Christian.
So yeah, I had a bunch of schools I was looking at, and I had the scholarships to Bethel and all that, and I was looking at Montevallo and Auburn specifically because they're close, and I just chose Auburn because I wanted to be near the house, and I've grown up as an Auburn fan, but I kind of wanted to get the college experience and fish at the same time, so I chose Auburn.
Absolutely, and like I said, we've talked before. Auburn has an outstanding fishing team, and I know you're majoring in business there. So we want to wish you the best of luck. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. So Hayden, this is your first time in the championship, and I want you to try to describe how you feel or what's been transitioning since Saturday about you winning the national championship as a first-time championship winner.
Yes, sir. It's a lot to take in all at once, and it really still hasn't set in yet. But it's like a dream come true, and it's a big payoff after all the hard work that both of us put into it, pre-practicing before it went off limits, and then the 2 days up there fishing our tails off every day, daylight to dark, and then it's just like a big payoff for it to happen.
And that's awesome. So now, Tucker, let me ask you, all right, you had 3 championships underneath your belt. You fished with Jason Morris at first 2 time championships, and now you fish with Hayden. When you look back at which championship, is there a certain championship that stands out, or is it just a combination of achieving all that? Because you have engraved your name in stone in the Bassmaster High School.
Yes, sir. I'd probably say this one sticks out the most just because, we did it a different time of year, which is kind of it's different from the summertime. So we had to figure it out a completely different bite. So last 2 were in August, and it was tough in August because it was so hot. But to be able to fish when it's cold and 40-mile-per-hour winds and waves are coming over your boat and figuring it out when it's colder at a different time of year, I think that was the biggest part that stuck out to me because that just showed we can actually do it not just in the summertime on one spot. We can actually figure it out, and win it a different way. So that's probably this year probably stuck out the most to me, and especially winning it with Hayden because it was his first one, and that that means a lot. That's a big accomplishment, especially at a young age, and I'm glad I got to share it with him. So.
Absolutely, and that's true sportsmanship. I like that. So Hayden, where do you go from here? You said you were a senior. Do you have your eyes set on 2021 in high school? And do you see yourself doing this again?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm just ready to get back there and just keep fishing every weekend, fishing more and more tournaments, and just try to get back there and put my head to it with my new partner and see what we can do next year when we get up there.
Now, do you who's your new partner that you're going to be fishing with for this upcoming season?
His name's Reese Batiti. I used to fish with him before I fished with Tucker, and we're pretty familiar with each other and fish the same way, so it's good. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Tucker, I want to share something. I know you saw this. I'm not sure if Hayden saw this, but Major League Fishing pro Aaron Martins stated, he wanted to congratulate both of you, Tucker and Hayden, as the new Bassmaster National Champion high school. He went on to state, this is Tucker's third in a row, and he quotes, "I am convinced this will just be the beginning of a long list of accomplishments for him." So, Tucker, my question is, what accomplishments in the future do you have your eyes set upon in college or even in the future?
Yeah, I want to. Well, speaking on Aaron, he's been a buddy of mine for a few years now, and he's taught me a lot of what I know. But if anybody gets to talk to him, you just instantly realize how much of a good guy he is. He's an incredible angler and also an incredible person. So it's cool to get to know him. But from here, I just want to fish, these college tournaments and hopefully make it to the college national championship, because that's what gets you to the classic, and that's my goal, is to make it to the classic. So that's my biggest goal. But taking it step by step and figuring it out as I go.
I understand, and there's no problem with that. And then that's just a huge compliment from Aaron Martins to give you, that he sees an awesome potential in you. So, Hayden, you talked about the effort and the amount of work that you guys did pre-fishing. Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys did and how much time and effort, to just kind of explain to everybody that you guys just didn't show up and fish. You guys put a lot of resources, a lot of effort, and a lot of time into this championship to win.
Yes, sir. So before it went off limits, we went up there for 4 or 5 days, and we kind of had like a game plan going into it of what we were going to do, and we really just we probably ran close to 10 miles of just river bars all up and down Kentucky Lake, and found some like key areas on the bars and like some like special places on them, like a hard spot or like a shell bed or something, like stuff like that, or like a ditch and stuff. And we really just found those, and like those were some of our key areas. And then when we came back up for the 2 days of practice this past week, we kind of ran some of the highlighted stuff that we had and found some fish that had gotten all over those, and we found them there. So that pre-practice really helped our championship, and it really just made it a lot easier to find them, because the lake's so big, you can't just break it down in 2 days. And for the kids that went up there just to practice the 2 days before, it had to be a lot harder on them, just because it's such a big body of water, unlike anything else. It's just a lot different to break down.
I understand. So you stated that you went out there prior than the 2 days. Did any of your spots hold up that the month prior before you went out there during the tournament?
Yes, sir. A couple of them did. A couple of them got better than they were, because we got like 1 or 2 bites on one of the places, and then when we came back a month later, they're like stacked on it a lot better than they were before.
Okay. So now, Tucker, take me through day one. You guys had a weight of 22 pounds, and that was the biggest bag of the tournament. Can you tell us what you guys did, or what you were using, or what your strategy was going on that day, or anything you want to share?
Yeah, day one we kind of just ran around the spot, so we practiced, and we hit the first spot, caught one that was a non-keeper, and then we hit like 3 or 4 more spots. So then we went to this spot we had some confidence in. We went to it, didn't get a bite, and we kept fishing down this bar, and I saw something on the graph that kind of looked like a little off. It kind of looked like it could hold some fish. So we kind of trolled down there, and first cast on it, I caught like a 4-pound smallie, And then Hayden threw in there and caught the biggest bass of the tournament. It was a 7.5. That was pretty crazy. And then we kept fishing it, and it was every cast for about 4 minutes, and we had those 22 pounds in the box before 8:30. So it was an incredible tournament and incredible day one. But
So day one, you by 8:30, you had all the fish you needed on day one.
Yeah, we got super blessed and pulled up on the right spot at the right time, and it just happened like that. But I'm glad that happened. I mean, if it wasn't for that day one weight, we probably wouldn't have had that 10-pound lead. So yeah, I'm glad we had that.
So now, Hayden, let's go to day two. Like I said, your day two lead was 39 pounds. I think you guys caught, what, 18 pounds, something like that. You know, take me through day two, what it was like for you on that day.
So day two, the wind got up a little bit, and it was because we were throwing all top water pretty much on day one, and we went to our spot that we caught the 22 pounds off of day one, pulled up on it, and I caught like a 4-pound smallmouth, but like they weren't eating the spook good, so we had like 5 or 6 misses, so we had to adapt. And Tucker threw in there with a rattle trap and caught 2 3-pounders on like back-to-back cast, but then it got kind of tough on us because that wind really hurt our bite because our main thing was top water, really, just down a spook over the bars. So we kind of got stumped there for a second, and it came about 1:30, and we ran almost all of our spots, and we started having some like motor trouble, and we had to go back to the ramp, call Hank, and get some oil in the motor. And then we weighed in at 440 that day, so at like 2:30 we ran down to a spot we hadn't hit yet, and Tucker threw out there and caught the 2 to give us a limit, and then I threw it out there and caught 1, and we cold once, and then we started running back up to the ramp because it was close to time to weigh in, and we hit 1 more spot on the way up and caught 1 more, and I caught out like a 2-pounder with like a 3-pounder, so that bumped us from like 16 to 17, and then we just ran in. That was pretty much it for day 2.
Okay, so now day 3 was a little bit different experience, I guess, for everybody. The top 12 that day. Tucker, take me through that. I know I texted your dad. I just asked him to get some pictures, and he was very nervous of what was going on. So, you know, tell me about your day 3 and if you struggled, or I mean, because it looked like everybody in that top 12 was struggling.
Yeah, day 3 was something else. We were sitting at the ramp, and there was like 25-mile-per-hour winds and 4-foot waves right by the boat ramp. So we were contemplating on even going out there. They let us out a little bit late because they were thinking about canceling it, I'm pretty sure. But we ended up going out there, and I'm sure it was super tough for everybody else, like looking at the weights, because it dropped like 20 degrees, 30 degrees. And the fishing got tough. We went out to our spots, and we couldn't get them to bite topwater at all. The waves were 4 foot, and the wind was howling, and I'm pretty sure we saw snow sometime that day. But we had to adapt and throw a trap and throw something under the water, and we caught 2 4-pound smallmouth. But we fished hard that last day, and through how cold it was, and we ended up catching 2. But at the end of the day, we didn't even need to catch anything because we were leading by 10 pounds, and we ended up not having to even weigh our fish in to win, but we ended up leading by 10 at the end of the day.
Right. I think you had, what, 47 pounds or something like that, 47, 49.
So, yeah.
So, you know, and like I said, I mean, you know, for both of you, it was a tremendous effort of the time you guys spent, and you executed flawlessly, you know, those 3 days. And the Alabama Bass Nation is so proud of Briarwood, of you guys. Tucker, like I said, your name will always be etched in stone. I never can see anybody breaking that 3-time consecutive, you know, high school champion. You know, and like I said, we're glad that you called the Alabama Bass Nation home, guys. Appreciate it. And I think, you know, you said you're going to be up here November 8th on Wheeler fishing, and I think Hayden, are you going to be up here on the 7th fishing that Wheeler tournament?
Oh, yes, sir. I think so.
So I definitely see you guys there. So, you know, before I close it out, I just want to ask each of you if you guys have anything you want to say to anybody or, sponsors or anything like that, and before we close it out? I'll start with Hayden.
Yes, sir. I'd just like to thank everyone who supported us this week, because it was really eye-opening how many calls and texts we got from everyone, and even from you guys. We appreciate everything you guys do for the sport in our state, and it was an amazing week, and we couldn't be more blessed, and we're thankful for all of it.
Okay. What about you, Tucker?
Yeah, I just like to thank everybody for all the calls and texts and everybody that made it happen for us, and sponsors and family and friends. But and to y'all for keeping the sport alive. But those high school kids, it's good that we, had this accomplishment to have other people look up and see, that they can do it. We're just two high school kids going fishing, and it happens. So anybody can do it. Just put your time on in the water, and it'll happen. So yeah, thank y'all.
Well, with guys like you guys elevate the sport too. I mean, you guys, like I said, Tucker, I told you this before. You've been an example to a lot of your peers in the Alabama Bass Nation, and when you win a championship, people look up to you guys. And like I said, I mean, you guys are great stewards of the Alabama Bass Nation, and you represent University of Auburn well, and Christian Briarwood Christian School well. So I want to thank you guys, and I appreciate your time spending this time just telling us about the championship and your thoughts, and I wish you guys the best of luck in the future.
Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Thanks
Okay,
for having
guys.
me.
You're welcome. Have a great night.